at my grandmama's house. We live next door. Grandmama wakes us up, time to eat breakfast. We go in, smell biscuits, sausage. We go inside the kitchen, phone rings. My dear comes, she says, Tony, your mama wants you to come home. I get up, go next door, walk in the house, can't find my mama. Walk in the back room, look for her, she wasn't there. Went in the living room, looking for my mama. She wasn't there. Went in the den, there my mother was, sitting down on the couch, crying. She says, sit down by me. I sit down and I look at her and her head is shaking. She says, is my head shaking? I said, Mama, yeah, you know your head's shaking. She said, is my hand shaking? Her hand was shaking. I said, Mama, you know your hand is shaking. I looked at my mama and her face began to contort and twist. It was in that moment that I realized that my mama was in the middle of having a stroke. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I showed up at Provine High School this morning to let you know that I need you to make it. I need you to make it because never again should a 12-year-old boy have to watch his mama have a stroke because she suffers from high blood pressure. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor. Neighbor. Oh, I had about 8 of y'all. I said, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor. Neighbor. I need you. I need you to make it. 1991.
1991.
1991, I get off the school bus, Mr. Tillman, coming from Sywell Junior High School. I walk down Short Dewey to the dead end, walk in my house. My grandmother is standing there, and she says, Tony, your sister is in the hospital. She's sick. Well, people get sick and go to the hospital. Ain't nothing new about that. Only that this time was different. I get back on the school bus the next morning, get off the school bus that afternoon, walk inside the house. My grandmother is there again, and she says, Tony, today your sister died. Could not understand for the life of me, why it was that my 27-year-old, beautiful, dark-skinned, chocolate sister was dead. Oh yeah, you don't think I got a light-skinned sister? Chocolate. For no reason, right? Could not understand for the life of me, why my sister could be dead. Did not occur until 3 days later when my parents sat us down and they explained to us that my sister had succumbed to that dreadful, deadly disease called AIDS and HIV. Doggone it, y'all, I need you to make it. I need you to make it because never again should a 13-year-old boy have to lose his role model because of a disease that there is the answer, the cure is lying on the inside of you. I need you to make it. Your mama and them didn't send you here just so you can look cute, flash your stilettos, and wear your Ralph Lauren polo. Instead, your mama sent you here so that a 12-year-old Tony Yarber would not have to watch his mother have a stroke, and a 13-year-old Tony Yarber would not have to watch his beautiful, dark, chocolate, 27-year-old bad mama jammer bring his sister down from AIDS and HIV. Need you to make it. 1992, Mr. Tillman. I get up on a Sunday morning. I'm almost done. I got to meet at 10:30. I get up on a Sunday morning. We go to my grandmother's house, whose house I stayed at the morning that my mother had a stroke. The grandmother who brought me in the house the day that my sister died. We go to her house. All of the sitting in Medea's room, and Medea said, "Oh, Lord, I dreamed this. I dreamed that all of my family would be here with me at one time, in one place, and I would be well enough to know who everybody was." At 11:25 that night, the phone rang. I heard a sound, and it was almost as if there was a discerning spirit in me that I knew what it was. I heard this. It was my mama's feet hitting the floor. I jumped up out of the bed, threw on my clothes, ran next door because I knew that it could only be the call that Medea was dead. Ran in the room. Medea was laying on the bed with her head on her hands, and I said, "Medea, wake up!" Well, nobody told me the dead folk can't hear. And so I said it again, "Medea, wake up!" Medea didn't wake up. You want to know why? She succumbed to a disease called arteriosclerosis. It is a heart disease. That's why I need you honor students to make it. Because not another Medea needs to die before she can draw her Social Security because of something that you got the answer to. I need you to make it. So in my last 2 minutes, let me tell you what I need you to make it out of. I don't care if you ain't got cab fare from the welfare. Tell your neighbor, get over it. Get over it. I don't care if you come from Brown Bottom or where I'm from, Sub 2. I need you to make it. So get over it. Tell your neighbor, get over it. Get over it. I don't care if your dad wasn't there and your mama don't like you. Somebody shout, get over it. Get over it. Because the truth of the matter is that real folk with real character got to go through some real trouble to prove that they're real people. It is not until I go through real stuff that I realize who my real friends are. Y'all better be careful. Yeah, if you ain't ever needed something and then had to ask somebody for something more than twice, you know, one time I got you. 2 times, hold on. 3 times I ain't answering the phone. It's in real moments that real people stand up. Y'all, we're living in real moments. My last minute, I got to share this and I'm gone. I have had the unfortunate opportunity of eulogizing 2 cousins who were killed in St. Louis and Chicago. Not just killed, but killed. My cousin, we called him Stone. Don't ask me why we call him that. You know, we country, so we got to have a country name. Stone was shot 17 times. He should be 35 as I am 34. He was killed outside of a club in Chicago, and as he was running, they shot him, and when he fell, 3 men circled him and unloaded their guns on him. Just last year, I was in Chicago, and we buried my cousin Tim Collins. They call him Tim Boss Mo. Yeah. Tim was sitting in a car with a friend. When all of a sudden, a car rides up, Tim recognizes what was happening, jumps out of the car, runs down the street. They follow him, shoot him, and they shoot him 7 times while he was laying face down and unloaded a clip in his head. At the funeral, there were more people at the funeral than I'd ever seen on any given Sunday in any church I've ever attended. I need you to make it because some folk don't think you should. I need you to make it because right now, there's a county on the other side of ours that don't want you and what you got going on in it. Somebody shout, I need you to make it.
I need you to make it.
So as you walk through the doors of Provine High School, I want you to walk through these doors understanding that God has gifted you with an ability that is unlike anything that he has ever given in a generation before ours. He has given you the skill set and know-how. He has given you the prowess. He has given you an ability to manipulate your way through anything, and you call it swag. God has given you that ability to be able to answer questions, solve problems, and to make sure that Tony Yarber doesn't have to be a grown-up before he's 15. The answers lie on the inside of you. I need you to make it. I need you to make up in your mind that you're not going to follow the latest trends. I'm on Twitter, and I never follow trends. I set trends. So when are you going to start being the trendsetter in your school, in your class, in your house, on your block, in your house? When will you set the trend? Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to make it. Before I go, let me tell you this. There's a poem that I always recite. I believe that it means everything in the world to me, and it absolutely describes how I value and view this moment right here. Dr. Benjamin E. Mays said it this way. He says, I have only just a minute. Only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it is up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give an account if I abuse it. It's just a tiny minute, but eternity is in it. If you hear my voice, clap once. Hear my voice, clap twice. Hear my voice, clap 3 times. 1, twice, 3 times. Put it all together. God bless you.